This fight is sponsored by Reuben's Meal Company. And now, introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Assassin Thaiboxing, please welcome and now, introducing his opponent fighting out of the red corner, representing Langka Muay Thai. Please welcome
Professional fighters, and one of the few combat sports that allow Vaseline and toy oil. And you'll see as it goes on, the guys don't even have a lot on when it gets to the A class. So you're allowed toy oil, Vaseline to help in the clinch, so it gets a little bit slippier. But what you'll also see there, you'll see Wayne, the referee, tell, now this is the change for 1.5 minutes. Sometimes it can be 3-2s depending on the fight night, but tonight it's 5 1.5s. So you will see a slightly slower start, more strategic.
And that is that traditional Thai style where your rounds 1 and 2 are a slow build until the third and things start to kick into gear.
And you have two different ways of looking at it. There's two different ways of viewing what that is. One would say it's the martial arts, the athletes getting a feel for each other, because when in Thailand, fighters didn't have enough time to camp and prepare because you were fighting every week, so you didn't have time to make a strategic camp. So it's a feeling out process. And then the more maybe realist point of view is that it was down to gambling. So in the big stadiums in Thailand, it gives the people time, the bookies time. Exactly, yeah. And there is, if people didn't know, there's people in Thailand in the stadiums that will come down and inform the corners if they can hold off from winning. If blue corner's about to win in round 3, if you hold off from winning and win in round 5, there could be an extra purse in it for you. So there's some controversial outlooks and things when it comes to
there's dark arts in every sport.
There is, yeah. But now in saying that, it's very hard to actually at will stop somebody in a round, so it's not as easy as it sounds. But what we will see is a slower, methodical start. I would imagine more technical, a lot more teeping.
Round 1.
Kearns in the black and yellow traditional shorts. Graham in the black and red. Clinching straight away. No slow build here at all.
Again, makes me think maybe there might be a little bit of nervous energy, unless someone has a knockout shot here. The 5-round style, even though it's only 1.5 minutes as opposed to a 3-minute A-class match, it's still 5 minutes. It can be tough at that energy. So this will slow down unless someone gets stopped.
Kearns may have slipped on that shot, but he's landing big shots here to the arms. They will pay dividends as the fight progresses.
Absolutely. You're going to see ribs redden up, legs redden up, and the fighters won't feel so much of it now. Yeah. It's tomorrow morning. They're going to be limping around for a few days, but fighters don't care about that. It's in the moment. They want the win.
To the uninitiated, it may look a little bit messy, but what you're seeing is essentially, I equate it to when they're in the clinch, an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. Both fighters vying for the dominant position.
Absolutely, and it's very difficult if someone's pressing forward. If you're being dominated by strength and someone's walking you forward in the clinch, you should rotate, redivert that energy, put it somewhere else and score with a knee. We haven't seen too much of it tonight. I'd imagine we will see it as the night progresses. A nice unorthodox sharp shin up the middle with a kick. Again, knees down the middle as opposed to knees around the side. If we can hit down the middle with them knees, they are big scores in Thai boxing, as they're more difficult to execute, and they also leave you slightly open, so they're seen by the judges as direct shot down the middle to the body as the more favoured knee technique and strategy. But in 5 rounds, you're forced to show exactly what you've done in your training camp, what exactly your weaknesses are and what your strengths are. So I would say easier. Nice teep. We'll see that little walk there. See where he's walking with the knees. We call that Moyong or pony walk or canter, like the way a pony or a horse canters. And what we generally do it against someone that is a dangerous kicker. So he's kind of saying he's going into trick, maybe fake with one leg and hit with the opposite. But also there we go, that Moyong walk and then score with a knee. He doesn't know when the opponent's going to throw a kick. So he's walking in, short marching, hoping to check something maybe and then hit with the opposite leg. Nice check. It would be nice with that walking forward, that marching forward, maybe stab a teep.
I do enjoy what Kearns doing as soon as very counter-striking oriented. Catch, reply, lean back, reply.
Yeah, and again, that's what judges love. Score, make the opponent miss, and then score again if you can. You're showing you're dominating.
It's almost as if every strike that Graham throws is acting as the stimulus for Kearns to reply immediately.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you got to remember, like if you're sitting at home and you're watching this, and it's a close fight, one of the big things the judges look for is who is dominating the match, who's controlling the tempo and pushing. So if both fighters are hitting an equal amount with equal effect, whoever is dominating and pushing the fight forward, making it active, and showing that they're not, if they hit the ground, funny enough, in Thai boxing, we're not big on sitting down and taking a standing out or sitting down and catching your breath. If you hit the ground, you'll notice fighters jump back up almost in a bravado sense of this didn't affect me. And that is a Thai boxing thing. You cannot show weakness at any stage, so there is no taking contusions on the ribs.
Round 3.
Midway point in what's been an incredibly strategic, interesting fight. Kearns doing a great job getting up. Nice work to the body. I'd like to see both fighters try and work a little bit more combinations.
Absolutely, absolutely. You can see the teep being used effectively as, for the first time tonight, as a striking, aggressive strategy, which is nice. Only works when you got two fighters that want to stand and kind of trade off with each other. Again, we'll see a very tall fighter in Graham wanting to stay in there and clinch, which is great to see. He's shown a nice array of technique.
Trying to pull down heavy on that head and land a big knee. Even checking at this level without the shin pads.
Yeah, and
completely different.
What I love to see on the check is when you see how trained in the guys are with this type, well, you're not going to train without shin pads, but working on checking is how relaxed the leg is. When we check, that lower leg has to be relaxed. The lower leg is to dissipate force. It's not to take upon the whole force of kick, or else you're just going to get jolted back.
Oh, beautiful work to the midsection from Graham. I think we might be seeing a slight change in momentum in the course of the fight, Mark.
And we can see that style kind of coming out of Langka tonight. Very technical, tall, lean fighters, quite technical at getting in, and what we call a long guard, where you'll see the fighter put a glove, almost a pan in the opponent's face, and then when they feel they're near the opponent, they could equally be they could equally find it more difficult in the clinch, but they seem to be able to create distance when distance shouldn't be, when it's quite difficult as being the taller fighter. We see that teep again. I love seeing that teep being used and following up with the knee.
Not only following up with the knee, but then getting out and re-establishing the distance.
Absolutely, absolutely. If the fighter's trying to tell a story of dominance, and again, as we've said, make it easy for the judges. Nice score.
As 1-2, step in knee, very clean from Graham. And as the fight's progressing, Graham seems to be the stronger fighter in the clinch. It seems to be he has the greater reserves of energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And even when a Thai fighter in that close throws body shots, they're quite open to get hit with a lot of shots. So it's telling you his confidence is growing. Both fighters there with body shots on the inside, with a chin in the air. High risk, high reward. But again, big scores going in with the long knee. Graham controlling again. Could be a stoppage with a knee if he keeps this pressure up. Again, we can see there Kearns trying to neutralize the clinch, showing he doesn't want to get in and trade, or he doesn't feel confident enough. So this is exactly where Graham needs to go back in.
The momentum definitely with Graham now. Kearns seems to be slowing down incrementally.
Absolutely, and again, look at the Thai boxing ethos, his big heart. Now he's shown heart, he's standing up there, but he needs to show he wants to fight back. He wants to stay in this, or the ref will stop it.
Saved by the bell. We could even see corner stoppage here, or stoppage in the mid.
Kearns, but he's going to have to really pick the pace up. I don't think he should engage in the clinch. He needs to do what we talked about 1 or 2 matches ago, maybe move a little bit, because he's not going to win in the clinch.
And pick him off. We've seen fights at the professional level and amateur level stopped on body language alone.
Absolutely. There we go. So he's going up top. So maybe that's what we need, a little bit of boxing. Get out of the clinch, and he needs a left hook or a cross. There we go, or down the middle.
Needs to get himself out of that corner.
Absolutely. See him neutralizing, dipping that left knee down at a slight angle. Graham going back to exactly what's been working for him. Teep into a knee.
Beautiful hook. Working the body as well.
Great control, stabbing teeth, controlling the distance.
And it's the tempo that Graham's fighting at. He's not throwing knockout shots. It's the accumulation.
There we go. Standing count. Okay, I thought the fight would have been stopped.
I like that Graham's not throwing everything into these shots. He's throwing in and around 65-70% accumulation as opposed to trying to throw everything into that final shot.
Absolutely. Kearns still has a little bit of fight left in him. Again, neutralizing the clinch. He doesn't want to get in and mix it up with the Langka fighter. Langka have shown all night how strong they are in the clinch with their teeps, with their kicks, and especially them tall fighters, how effective they are. Again, neutralize them, won't score. Yeah, heavy hands is probably what's needed. Again, a Hail Mary, that's all I think Kearns has.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for both fighters. They put on a great show for us. After 5 great rounds, we go to the scorecards.